What is the dark night of the soul and how to get through it? Today, we're going to be going over what exactly is the dark night of the soul, which is part of the process of our spiritual awakening, and how to move through it. So the best way of explaining the dark night of the soul is when you first enter into a life change. And I want to make this as easy. I love to explain things like a 4-year-old can listen and know what it's about, okay? Doesn't matter where you are in your journey, that anyone can relate to what I'm going to explain. You're doing life, you're just doing life, you're operating life a certain way, and all of a sudden, one life change happens. So it could be a job change, it could be moving a home, it could be a relationship change, it could be simply just the way you see yourself or who you are, or what you vibrate at, what you're deciding to choose to be. As you go through this life change, it changes your energy, it changes your perspective of the world. Throughout this process, the part people don't talk about is called the tower moment of reality. Perfect example that one of my participants in my plant medicine retreat said, it's like a ceremony where everything was a lie. And what I mean by that is like you are going through every lie that you're either attached to, have been told to, or has been created in a collective level. And you are being closer to the truth. You're stepping closer and closer to what is true to you, what is true to this world we live in, what is true to everything we see. And through this process, it can feel really daunting because I know for myself, speaking from my experience, I would feel like this is one way. And then now I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know. So this is really where we purge, we go through the void, and it's an unknown period. Those 3 areas of what the dark night of the soul. Purge is like letting go. It's being able to transmute all these things that no longer serve us. And this could be as simple as a food change. This could be a career change. This could be a change of the way you speak, like anything small and simple. And through that, your whole energy changes. And a void is essentially that empty space. It's that space that after you've purged everything, you're like, who am I? Simple as that. You ask yourself, who am I? Who am I here to become? What is my purpose? Why am I on this path? Why did X happen to me? And why am I at Y? This is where the void, this period of questioning is called the void. It's where nothing is bringing in clarity. It feels cloudy. You got to wait till the storm settles and the cloud disappears and the fog goes away. And in that space, I like to call it the time where we're blindfolded. It's like if you blindfold someone and tell them to walk somewhere and you're guiding that person to walk, they have to trust that person to what they're saying. Take 2 steps forward, turn to the right. Now lean a little bit more here. Oh, too much. Go here. It's called the blindfold experience of and with God, universe, the unknown, which brings me to the next level. Dark night of the soul is testing you to trust. You know, I'll give a perfect example. 2 different people. I can trust something's going to happen. I trust that I'm going to have the money to go on a vacation. If I were to say that, or if I said that to myself, or you said that. And when I get that fund, then I'm going to book it. So what you're telling me is that you need something to happen and you need them to take off the blindfold in order for you to know that you are worthy and that you can do this trip. As opposed to saying, hey, I'm going on holiday on December and you might have not asked your boss yet. And I'm going to start prepping and start, going to the gym. I'm going to go and look at hotels. I'm going to look and book them. You are making it your definite and you are choosing your reality in that moment. You're choosing who you want to become in December. Person on holiday for 2 weeks, relaxing, taking it easy, and just being with yourself. So this is really those 3 layers of the dark night of the soul. Now let's go into breaking illusion. This is where you're stepping into your truth. So a great question to ask yourself is, what truths have I been avoiding? If there's something that you've been doing over and over again and it's not working, I always like to say that in the process of our dark night of the soul and that spiritual awakening, this is where we really have to say, I don't know, and I'm willing to learn. And universe, show me what I'm here to learn. Show me the way. And we then have to respond, right? You need to take the step forward and listen and respond to the way, right? You can't just be like, when spirit gives me the green light, then I'll do it. Then you're just literally waiting for something outside of you to give you the answers. And that's a whole other story, right? So you're really getting to learn your voice. You're learning your power. You're learning who you are. You're learning truth. And when we look at the meaning of truth, truth means reality. What you're doing through this dark night of the soul is you are now being shown what is true reality, what is real, what is tangible. And like I always like to say, what's in the dark will come into the light. And that is the dark night of the soul. It's finding out what's in the dark and then letting it free, releasing it into the light, transmuting it. So you don't have to carry the burdens anymore. So you don't have to be in the unknown anymore. So you don't have to feel lost. You don't have to wait for someone else to give you permission to how you feel, the way you should be. And you ultimately have all that power in yourself. This is really what a dark night of the soul means. And now we're going to go into how to get through it. The first thing I can say is healing sessions. When I went through my dark night of the soul time and time again, because a little fact, you don't go through one and that's it. You go through multiple. Some people, it could be their Saturn return. Some people, it could be a divorce. Some people, it could be a move. It could be multiple things. It could be you taking this life risk to do something that you've always wanted to do or something different, right? And it could just be you making that small change that makes a huge change in your life. It's not always have to be big. It could be small too. This is where healing sessions can be very supportive. I wish I did more healing sessions at the beginning. I think a lot of me and part of my process of the dark night of souls, knowing that I don't have all the answers and I need to be humbled and knowing that I don't need to pretend like I know the answer because I'm scared of looking stupid or silly. That was the rhetoric I had. And I had to ask myself, where did I hear this? Oh, from my childhood. Healing sessions, having someone that could help you go through it, having a spiritual mentor, guide, I like to say. And a guide and mentor, I want to remove it out of this like pedestal. It's someone that's shining the light in your darkness, shining the light to help you keep your eyes on the light as you keep moving through the swampiness of it all. For those of you who are going through a spiritual awakening and maybe wanting support, I do offer one-on-one healings, and you can go check it out down below. If this is something you resonate with and you'd like to connect and learn more, just go to my website, email me, send me an email, or you can book a one-on-one. Integration is huge. There's so many downloads you're having in your life, right? Like in the dark night of the soul process of the spiritual awakening, you're going through the lies, you're going through the masks of yourself and others, you're going through the hidden secrets, right? And in this process, it's very important that we are integrating. And integration is like if your soul and your human are here, integration process is where your human is meeting your soul. All the meditations you go through, the realizations, the downloads are all coming into one. And sometimes it takes some time for it to land. There are times where I get a realization in a meditation when I'm in the dark night of the soul and I'm like, oh man, this is deep, or I'm not ready to fully hold it. And I go for a walk 2 months later and then that wisdom lands. I'm like, I get it now. I really can embody it. So integration is where you can embody the dark truths, the light truths, the reality of it all. That's really what it is. And it's being able to just let it all sit in that space of solitude, in that void sometimes too. One of the things I wish I had is the one friend rule. So many people, so many of you who have talked to me saying, I feel like I don't have anyone that's on this path. And if there's one thing I can give you, is the simplest thing is just find one person that is either one, going through a spiritual awakening, two, that you feel comfortable to express your changes, or three, someone that can guide you into where you're going. For me, I know for sure all I need is one friend. I know I have one sister that no matter what, whether it's me leaving a dieta, whether it's me going through a big life change, whether it's me needing to clear and just talk and be listened to, dark night of the soul or not, I have that person with me no matter what. And I think having that one friend rule should be needed for anyone on a spiritual journey. So then you don't feel like you're flicking on and off, and that person can be hope for you to know that these changes that you have, there is some communities and people out there that are going to accept you. It also allows you to integrate properly. It allows you to connect with the human experience of life and your new version of yourself that is becoming in this cocoon period. Isolation can be very tempting, but just having that one friend, whether it's a call or whatever, that you can just touch base with once in a while, does really help as you're moving through this. Nature is always there for you. There's no appointment needed. You just need to make an appointment with nature itself. And nature is not a separation of us. It is an extension of us. We are part of nature. So the more that you can connect with nature, the more that you can connect with yourself in the evolution of your awakening, whether it's going for a walk, planting, deciding to do a garden, sitting underneath a tree, finding ways. What is one way I can connect with nature right now? Not only just to hold me and come to it when I'm desperate, that's also a lesson, but also just to make it part of my life. I can connect with the nature and the natural rhythms of my true self that is birthing in this period of time. Creative outlet. Art therapy is huge for me. Something I share with my clients in my retreats and plant medicine dietas that I support is I always have integration activities. And one of my favorite things is art therapy, singing, and ecstatic dancing. There needs to be a space where you can really bring more dopamine into the body when you're in this like sludge of the shadow work, right? This is what it is. It's just shadows, all the parts of us that are hidden and the parts of us we don't want to look at. That's shadow work. So having a creative outlet can be a way of making that energy move. It can also be a way of birthing energy and ideas that come to life. It's connecting to yourself. It's connecting to life force energy, which is what you're doing. You are recreating your reality in life. So what better way than to move through the medicine of your hands and your body and to see what you can create here, to show you the power that you're stepping into through this really deep evolutional time. Journaling, word vomit. Sometimes people are like, I don't know what to write when I journal. Just take a piece of paper, take everything in your brain and blah, like vomit it on piece of paper. There's a wasp right on the camera. Just vomit it right on the piece of paper. What this does is it just really allows you to let it all go. And then there are times where I just have like a poem or like something that's really deep. And after writing it, it's just not in my head anymore. I don't need to hold that on. And that alone can be very healing. Journaling, writing can be great ways. And I always say, if you don't know what to start with, just say, I feel. That's what I tell my clients. Start with the paper, I feel, and see what comes out. Movement, move your body. Way to get through this dark night of the soul is moving. Get your body moving, get your body shifting, dance, exercise. This is when sometimes I get the deepest downloads, when I'm in a space that I don't feel like doing anything, when I feel unmotivated, when I feel like life is just like bam, bam, bam hitting me. I go and I move my body. There's so many times I go to the gym, and right now I'm actually in Spain, so I'm not going to the gym. I'm doing at-home workouts, which is a whole other lesson. But I would go to the gym and I would just have these really big breakthroughs while squatting. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow, no matter how many meditations I did this week, I couldn't hit it. But it was when I got into my body that my soul felt, let's bring it in. And I think this is one of the things why people start to loop in a dark night of the soul, which is quite common when you stay in this period a long time and you're just healing, you feel like nothing's moving, is because you're not in your body. You don't feel safe in the body that you're in, and you're just getting the downloads. And without having a very balanced, held, safe body, the channel doesn't have a great vessel to be held in. It's like, if you have this beautiful bag that means a lot to you and you put it in this radial place that you don't respect that energy of the bag. I'm giving you an example. Or maybe you just drag it and put it on the floor and you just have dust on it. You're just like, okay, whatever. But that bag means a lot to me. The way you treat anything is the way you treat yourself. You got to know that. So the dark night of the soul is understanding that respect and take care of your temple as it moves through these really big life changes. And the more you do that, the more you can really feel safe in your body. Don't measure output too much. Man, I wish someone told me this. I remember my whole life just like things crumbling, and I really didn't have control. I was just like, okay, this is going, and this is okay. I had to get to a point of acceptance. As much as I felt like I was changing and I was getting all these downloads of things that I should move into and like what's next, or sometimes I was in the void, I'm like, I really don't know. I realized that the amount of work that my spirit is going through purging, there's no way I can be present to do the things. When I go through my biggest spiritual awakenings, sometimes I get a decline in my income, or especially being self-employed for many years. Or sometimes I notice I'm not able to give the people I love access to me because I'm just going through it through myself, and I need to prioritize my session every Tuesday with my healer, or that time with that sister who knows me going through what I need to go through, and I need them to just listen to me, and for us to have our good talk, our tea talk. And I think that was the biggest thing for me, was understanding that I don't owe anyone anything. I don't. And all I owe is myself right now in this period of my life. And as long as I'm doing things to take care of me, that's all that matters. The dark night of the soul is realizing that you got you, and it's time for you to get support from people for you. It's time for you to be in this the season of receiving, because that's what you are doing. You're receiving truth in reality. You're receiving truth of who you are. You're receiving truth in everything. What better way than to honor that? So these are the biggest things. And again, just a reminder that your soul is going through boot camp right now in the dark night of the soul. Take it slow, take all of these tips, write them down, put it somewhere whenever you're like, I feel this. Okay, what did Chica's video say? Okay, this is coming up. Okay, cool. So just allows you to feel guided in the process so you don't bomb yourself down or feel lost. You have this beautiful guide that's supporting you. If you are someone that is going through a really deep spiritual awakening, I have a beautiful one-on-one sessions that I offer to help other souls on their spiritual awakening. You can book a session with me down below. If you want to go deeper in the work and you're like, hey, Chica, this is what's coming up. These are my intentions. Just send me an email at my email, chica.com /contact. It's down below, and send me a little email. Tell me a bit about your awakening and let's chat. Let's see how I can support you and really make it helpful to help you move through this dark period of the soul. So you're not looping. Because I see it so many times with people on their spiritual journey. So many times. And they don't know. They're just like, I guess I'm just going to keep healing for the rest of my life. No, we heal to be more present. We heal to be more free. We heal to accept ourselves fully and to be at peace. And if it's been years that you've just been healing it over and over again, send me an email because something's happening that we need to talk about. So I hope this really helped you out. Let me know down below if you have any questions. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, all the things. Share this with someone else who's going on their path of the dark night of the soul. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.